Brooklyn, at least this afternoon for me. If you're tuning in from somewhere else, thanks for joining. I like to call these my block party volumes. So today we're going to focus on a segment looking at core. I mean, core is on everybody's lips right now, but just know that if you didn't have a core, you wouldn't be able to get out of bed. So the core work we're going to do today is going to be utilizing props. So that's why I like to call it the block party, because blocks can really make us integrate a little bit deeper. So ideally you're going to have at least one, possibly two, just to add some more sizzle if you'd like. So let's first come onto our backs. You can set your blocks to the side and just lie back with your feet down, like you're going to start in a bridge pose, but there won't be any lift just yet. And place your hand onto your abdominals. Just kind of let the low back relax down to the floor, and begin to recruit Ujjayi pranayama. So the breath will be in and out through our noses with that smooth hollowing out. So pull the navel down towards your spine, Uddiyana Bandha, and you can tell that looking that my pelvis is going to take a little bit of a tilt going up. So I'm taking the frontal hip bones towards my ribs, back and down. So then just bring your knees up to about a 90-degree bend, arms by your side, low back onto the floor. Got a little bit of an anterior tilt of the pelvis, and then tap your right toes down and bring your right knee back up. Then tap your left toes down, bring your knee back up. And it might seem very simple, because it fairly is simple, but if you even place your hands onto your abdominals, you'll probably feel as you keep tapping your superficial abdominal muscles, rectus abdominis. Then maybe take the fingertips out. You can start to take the toes a little further and feel the inner and outer obliques. And then maybe tap a little further and feel transversus abdominis, that lowest abdominal muscle. Now I'm also at the same time thinking about the side and the back of my core. So my quadratus lumborum muscles that line the lateral sides of the spine, low back, are working because my core is a cylinder. Just do that a few more times, just tapping. This is just kind of like, okay, this is where I want to wake everything up. Good, one more time, tap each side, and then place your feet back down. Just take a little bit of a bridge pose, press your feet in, and then just kind of give it a little bit of a sway. Then make your way onto your belly. So I'm going to come down and start in a Sphinx pose. And instead of coming into a traditional forearm plank where the toes are tucked under and we're lifting the pelvis, you kind of have to scrub your mind and think that you're going to keep your toes down. In fact, let me move the block so you can see. I'm going to keep my toes down, toes pointed, shins down, knees down. Then I'm going to draw the upper arm bones in, and I'm going to peel my low, mid, and upper back up in a fairly long linear plane. So you can tell when I'm talking right now, I'm having a little bit of effort here. So try not to drop your gaze back towards your knees, and try not to collapse in the belly. Then take a breath, and then exhale, bring the belly down. Sphinx pose on an inhale, and then exhale, slowly bring it back up. Take a breath, and then bring the pelvis back down. So now we'll flow. Sphinx pose, inhale, you get that abdominal wall stretch, and then exhale, puffing up. 3 more times, inhale to Sphinx, and then exhale. And 2 more times, inhale. Good, exhale. And drop it down, inhale. And then exhale. Oh, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Inhale. And then exhale. Pause. Take a moment. And then walk your knees in. Take a moment to come up onto your shins and maybe give your abdominals a little bit of a stretch. Maybe open up through the chest. And then exhale, come back to neutral. So I want us to take a block now, and we're going to bring it onto our low back. A lot of times in teaching and actually being a yoga practitioner, knowing that when we have a little bit of weakness around the core, that whole cylinder, that our planks and coming down, lifting back up can sometimes be wave-like, and we tend to lay into the pelvic region or arch into the low back. So I want us to bring ourselves down onto our bellies, and you're going to place your block in the lumbar spine. So I don't want it really high up, not into thoracic, and I don't want it on your sacrum, but I want it kind of right there at the top of your sacroiliac joint, and maybe right towards the bottom, right around maybe like T12, T11. And the idea is that we're going to lift and lower, either from hands and knees to tabletop or straight body plank, without waving or dropping the block. So I'm going to draw my upper arm bones in. Elbows are not going to touch the ribs, but they're really close. Then I'm going to draw navel towards spine. Then I'm going to push my toes, lift my kneecaps, push up plank, and then exhale, lower all the way back down. So again, I don't want to peel up, but I want to be straight plank. So inhale, push up to plank, and then exhale, lower down. How about 5 more? Inhale, and then exhale. Why did I say 5? 4 more. Inhale, and then exhale, lower. 3 more. Inhale. Woo, keep it solid. 2 more. Inhale, and then exhale. Good. 1 more time. Push it up, and then exhale, lower all the way back down. Take your block, bring it off to the side, and then come into a tabletop back. And please feel free to rock a little bit side to side, maybe bring yourself around into some prostrations of sort, maybe stretching the shoulders out and such. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to work on using 2 blocks of kind of the handstand line, but also just kind of figuring out, as we were to work in that straight line, like where it is that our core support has to be firing and stabilizing the most to keep us from arching the low back and dropping the belly. Like the yoga handstand's kind of known for being a little bit more on the banana side, because we also work a lot of our flexibility. So it's going to be a lot of that knitting of the ribs in. So I'm going to start with my blocks here, and I'm going to take 1 block back behind me, and I'm going to rest my shins on it. Then I'm going to take my block into my hands here and keep myself lifting. Keep myself lifting. Keep myself lifting. Did I mention lifting? So I'm shaking. I'm assuming that you're not, because you're probably, right, bored. Take 10 more breaths. Inhale, exhale for 1. Right, so we're not dropping in and we're not pumping the butt up. 7 more breaths. Inhale, and then exhale. 6. For 5. 4. Woo. 3. Again, feel free to come down anytime you need to. And for 2. Great. 1 more. Bring the knees down. That was really joyful. And press yourself onto your shins. We'll take a couple moments and recalibrate your breath. Again, this is a lot of work here. So, we'll make ourselves just a little bit more, make ourselves rest a little bit in between, knowing that at some point you may need to skip the next one or kind of work these in your own sequence. So next one, we're going to start with Vashisthasana, side plank. For those of you who are experiencing any wrist issues, you're always welcome to come down into forearm Vashisthasana. I'm going to demonstrate this, though, with the arms straight. So I'll come into plank pose, and of course, you can always keep the knee down. So I'm going to come into my plank pose, and then roll to my outer right foot, And my right hand's going to push down. I'm going to open a jar to the right. So I'm going to hover my left leg. Left arm's going to come up. Then we start to curl. Curl, 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 curl. Left hand, turn the left sternum side down. And then see if I can keep the left toes lifted and extend my left toes back. Then I'm going to turn back and hover. 4 more times. Curl it down, try and control, try and control, try and control. Reach the left hand down, hover the left toes. Good, and then come back, reach the left arm up. Take a breath. Curl, turn the sternum, turn the sternum. Keep hovering those left toes. Turn the left shin, lean left hand down. Good. 2 more times, hover the left leg, left arm up. Curl it in. Curl it in, hover, hover, hover. Oh, maybe the left hand, nope. That's so hard, come back. Left arm, hover the left foot. And then rotate, curl in, hover. And then bring it down. So I'm gonna sit back into Gomukhasana, cow face, because my right side is really fatigued, my right outer hip. So I know you're really excited to do the left side, so let's get on with it. So please feel free again to either stabilize with the knee down or your forearm down. So I'm going to come into Vashisthasana. Start with plank. Please do not move your hand in. You're going to bypass the joint structure of the shoulder. Start in traditional plank, then roll to the outer left foot. Left hand's down, you're opening a jar to the left. Reach your right arm up, then start to curl it. Oops, hovering my right foot. Oh, start to curl, Hover those left toes. Good, bring it back. Sliding. And then reach the right arm up, hover. Curl it. Curl those toes, turn. Oh, right hand down. 3 more times. Hover the right foot, right hand up. Rotate it in, hover. Oh my, right hand down. 2 more times. Take it up. Curl in. Start to roll. Hover. Right hand down. Awesome. So you can feel it's really using like the back, the sides. Roll in. Turn. Hover. Right hand down, right foot down. And then cow face. Gomukhasana. Oh, take a few more rounds of breath. Good, 1 more round of breath. And then we're going to come on to our backs, and we're going to work on using our blocks. So I'm going to take my block to my left femur bone. To make it a little bit easier, you can take the block higher. You can take it even higher, but that almost is kind of a little useless, in my opinion. So at least the second, but preferably the lowest setting. Now you're going to bring your left elbow, you're going to hold your block there, then interlace your fingers. So my neck's cradled. Right leg can start up, push your elbow into your left leg, and then possibly hover it. Okay, so we're just really working on the deep abdominal core muscles to keep the low back stable, but focusing a lot on this left side. Yeah, take 3 more breaths. So you can lift a little higher, you can push. Good, exhale for 2. Take 1 more breath, and then exhale, lower it down. And we have to do the other side. So right elbow to block to femur. So bring it in, elbow is there. Think about lifting the chest, not bringing the leg to your chest, but bringing them together. Interlace. Again, the left foot can come down, it can go up, it can hover. And then I'm going to push my elbow, my leg against the block. The poor block is like, why me? A few more breaths. Nice, exhale for 2. Good, 1 more breath. And then bring it on back. Good. Bring your knees back into your chest, and then bring yourself into rock and rolling a bit side to side. Good. One more round of breath. All right, coming back. So giving our wrists a little bit of a break. We're going to come back onto plank. And now we're going to work a little bit on asymmetric block switching. So I'm going to bring the block this time kind of more around thoracic. So right around the lower, the more inferior part of my shoulder blades. Then I'm going to come into plank. Now I'm going to try not to shift into my left hand too much because my block's going to probably come to the side. But I'm going to lift my left toes up, try and take my right hand, grab that block, bring it down, right hand down, left foot. And then bring it back up. Good. Then I'm going to take a break. Just kidding. Lift the right leg up, rock into the right hand, try and pick up the block. There it is. Bring it down. Oh, left hand, right foot. 2 more times each side, so just kind of find a rhythm on your own. So pick up the left foot. Oh, take up the block. Bring it down, right hand, left foot. Take the block back. You know you like it. Flip the right leg, shift, pick up the block. Whoa, bring it down. I think we're on the last side, or last round. Last side, last round. Wishful thinking. Lift it up. Grab the block, bring it down. I didn't know there'd be so much coordination in talking and doing it at the same time. Last one, right leg up, pick up the left hand. Try not to roll too much, pick up your block, bring it down. Oh, and come to a rest. Then take it just a deep round of breath. Deep, deep, deep round of breath. Good, 2 more. Good, 1 more round of breath. And then we're going to come onto our seats. So I want you to take yourself with a block here into your hands and take it to your inner thighs. So squeeze the block and take your hands out in front of you. Then start to slowly roll down, pause, hug in, and then bring your body back up. Do that a few more times. So block is squeezed into your inner thighs, roll back, roll back, roll back, hug, and then come back. Now we're going to do a few more of those. Option is, if you feel there's enough support, you can take the block between your hands, the landscape, and narrowly to the inner thighs. So about 5 more. So if you're squeezing the block, squeeze it in between your hands, squeeze the block between your thighs, lower down, pause, and then come on up. So if the heels start to fly up or you feel that there is no support, bring your hands down. Okay, so 5 more, lower it down and lift it up. Good, 4 more times. Lower it down, squeeze. Nice, and then lift it up. Ooh, 3 more times. Lower it down and then lift it up. Don't go any lower than you can bring back up. Nice. Squeeze. 1 more time, but let's suffer. Dukkha. Hold for 5, 4. Squeeze. 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. And then lie back. Give yourself a big stretch. Maybe roll out the wrists. And then make your way up to a seat. So take your time. Gosh, there's so many core drills or exercises or things we can do. That's just a little snippet of my core block party, and I thank you so much for joining me, and I certainly hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Thanks so much.